right. Hey, listen up. Here's something I got to ask. This is how I learned how to stop hiding behind silence and turn vulnerability into strength. This message tonight is about how I learned to turn right from hiding, going silent, and turn vulnerability into strength. So I always like to ask a question. This is for the ladies and the men. What has silence been costing you that success can't fix? What has silence been costing you that success can't fix? For those of you who don't know, my name is Jeff Tyson, affectionately known as the Comeback King, and we're here tonight to talk about vulnerability. So my question back to you is: what has been, and what has silence when you're going quiet? With that behavior, what has that ah, provider, protector, all those great things, lifestyle, traveling, and living the life like it's golden. But when y'all get together and wifey, you need an answer from him, and he's like, you hit a nerve. So all of a sudden, you guys get this. I mean, it's probably going through it right now tonight, right? Where you're going through some things, man, and the more you talk to him, the more you press him, the quieter he gets, the more isolated he becomes, the more in retreat that he gets to, and becomes more disconnected. And then he's basically gone and hidden, runs into that little home he built years ago, that little silent safety spot, where in his mind, hey, listen, I'm doing the right thing. I'm being wise about science. I don't want to make an argument. I don't want to make it worse. I don't all these things that's going on in his head. But I've been telling people for a while now that we've been lied to around silence and why silence is good. And more importantly, about vulnerability and being guarded. And those are signs of weakness, right? Those are things you never want to expose. And I get it, man. I mean, look, I know, fellas and ladies, that you've tried and you've gotten feelings hurt, you've been stepped on, manipulated around, all those things that are going on. I get that. I understand that. But it still doesn't justify. If you pick a partner, this is the Jeffism. If you're picking a partner to do life with, man, then vulnerability is the bigger piece of that than anything else, right? It's just that comes together like this, man, like that. She trusts, you trust. She's honest, you're honest. She's protected, you're protected. Y'all protected. Anyway, man. So anyway, so I'm going live with y'all right now tonight to talk about the mirror moment, the same process. And that mirror moment, man, is the same process that helped me with some other things. Face what we're going to talk about tonight. Face that unhealed wound section of my life. Face the disappointments, face the issues around self-worth, face all of the things that made me focus on being, oh man, so successful and everything else. So I didn't have to deal with that. And being vulnerable was not an option. It just wasn't. It was a sign of weakness. I was taught that. I was told that lie because the people that love me were told that lie. And I want to be the generational disruptor to that, gentlemen, because I'm in circles with men and they have children or grandchildren, and the men are still talking that nonsense about, oh, hey, what are you doing? Talk like a man, be like a man. 5, 6, 7-year-old kids, ignorant. I'll just say it's ignorant because they're not intentionally trying to set the child up for failure when it comes to emotional intelligence. But that's what's happening. It's still happening. They're still perpetuating the lies around being a man, being responsible, being strong, all that crap at 5, 6, 7 years old, right? And unfortunately, man, we miss the gift of connection with our sons. Like we have daughter and son. Check this statistic out. I don't have an exact statistic. Same children, 4 years old, girl and a boy. Man, the girl's always filled with emotional touches and hugs and kisses. The boy has got his little balance of it, but it starts to dwindle. So now 4, 5, 6 years old, girl still getting all the hugs and kisses. The little boy, man, his hugs and kisses have dropped significantly, right? Because we're teaching him how to be strong. We're teaching him how to be disconnected. We're teaching him how to guard himself, all that stuff, right? Anyway, so by 8, 9 years old, man, they've forgotten what it feels like to be touched. I'm suggesting Look, I got grandsons, I a grandson, and some nephews. I grab them boys, I give them kisses on the head. They don't like it. Some of them do, you know. I mean, we hug all that noise because I know I went through that. I went through what I'm talking about, man. This is some earned experience that we talk about here, and we all have that earned experience. What do you want to do differently about it, right? So I just want to show you an example of the mirror moment that we, it's a three-step process, and I'm only going to talk about part one today, and then we'll go into two or tomorrow, Saturday, and then wrap up the third day on Sunday. Yeah, we're going to show up on Sunday. We didn't, that's just part of how the schedule came out. But anyway, I want you to think about this when I'm talking to you, fellas, ladies, and gentlemen, about what it is. What's, what has silence been costing you in your relationships? Denial. What have you when refusing to talk to them? What has that been costing you, man? You can fill that blank out. Put it in the comment section. Hey, Jeff, it's costing me peace. Hey, Jeff, it's costing me some understanding. I'm getting further and further away from the woman that I love, the woman of my dreams. Whatever that might be for you, just drop it in there, man. Right? Because I want to tell you, I talked just a little bit. You guys, that I want you to know I qualify to be here, and yeah, I've been through some things in this space, that things that I'm not proud of, but I've recovered from. Things that hurt and hurt a lot of other people, but I've recovered from. Things that, when focused on and corrected, have made me a better man, a better person, so that when I said I do again, it'll be 15 years in September, in another month or so. So it's possible to get reset, possible to do these things. Anyway, so we're going to talk a little bit about the mirror moment, and because vulnerability becomes strength when a man when a man stops performing, stops pretending like everything's okay. I'm the provider. I give her what she wants, and she's an earner too. So now you got earners equal earners, right? So it ain't about that anymore, fellas. We can't roll that dice, right? And more power to the sisters out there knocking it down, man. I mean, I'm all about that, right? I love me some powerful women, man, because guess what? They've been through some stuff. And ladies, also too, I had a meeting today. Just if you happen to drop in with some powerful sisters that are going to come and talk about vulnerability and not really knowing how to receive it, right? And men not really knowing how to receive it or give it also. So it's going to be a great month of August. Anyway, I'm gonna get into this thing here. Let me just pull up here, and when you're dropping in, let me know where you're coming from, and please share this information, like and subscribe to Conversations with Jeff. We really appreciate that. So let's go. We're talking about the mirror moment, man. I mean, I'm gonna see if I can find a better picture so you can see it at least. The mirror moment is a three-step framework, and listen, frameworks are important, man. Why frameworks are important? Because that's where our habits come from. That's where our patterns are operate out of. That's where our brain trust comes into it, right? So we've got frameworks around how to behave. In this case, we're talking about vulnerability and going silent, right? So the first one, man, I was like, wow, this is like awareness. Guys, listen, this is something that you can start right now, man. I mean, just becoming aware of what Jeff's talking to you about. That you've been lied to, and if you believe in that, standing strong as a man and all that stuff, and you've been hurt before, so you don't have to do it, and it's just going you're going to take things to your grave. I can go on and on and on about the justifications we have around it. Anyway, so becoming aware of the possibilities. That's all I ask you to do. Be thinking about the possibilities of unresolved wounds and issues, the real truths. That when we were boys, like I was a boy at 5 years old, I had already learned that telling the truth was dangerous, man. I had already learned that hey, listen, I got to protect myself about this whole truth thing, right? I didn't know what vulnerability meant back then. They didn't talk about that much, but I knew something was wrong with me, right? Man, come on. I know I ain't the only one, right? So name what was going on. I had to really look at all the stuff that I'm talking to you about. First of all, that I was that guy that justified, hey, I'm doing all these things and had powerful careers and as a professional corporate guy and built some nice businesses, all that stuff, man. But I was incomplete. I was incomplete like you are. Anyway, so look, the first one, face the mirror. Man, this is a mirror moment exercise. You can do it anytime. You can do it throughout the day. You can teach your son how to do it, your kids how to do it. It should be a family affair in front of the mirror. Right. Anyway, name the patterns. So we work on naming the pattern. What is my pattern was ooh, my pattern was I was just ignorant at first. I didn't know, so I protected myself. I would make excuses. I would close off. I would argue sometimes. I'll do anything, avoid getting to the real issue of things, right? Because the trigger had already hit. She hit the trigger. I didn't know that there was a trigger to hit, right? I mean, I didn't know that when she talked about certain things that I was still wounded over some unresolved emotions. That stuff is real, man. That's a real thing, guys, right? And so, what is it as you're listening to me? What is it that you can really start to admit to, not make excuses over it? What we can admit to it, man. What is it? I'm so start thinking about. I'm trying to give you some of my stuff. Right? I was still, I was still that young boy who was struggling, man, who had protected himself, and no matter what success I had, I still had those feelings. And those feelings, that little boy was making the decisions for me at 35 or whatever. I've been at this game now for 30 something years, so I have some idea around how it works and how it doesn't work. Anyway, name the pattern and what the trigger is, right? And then own the part when the trigger hits where you start to blame, right? Where you start to blame, because that's a big piece of it. You got to take responsibilities, step into the role of leadership, right? And then here you go, the story you've been rehearsing, what you do next after you, right? You're into the pattern. She's triggered you. What do you do next? That you've been really take a look at yourself in the mirror, right? That's all I want you to think about tonight. Is number one, face in that mirror, put in some awareness around what we're talking about and some acceptance. That's it. Just some acceptance around the fact that maybe what I'm talking to you about could be the real reason why intimacy and vulnerability and even honesty doesn't come easy for you. Right? It doesn't come easy for you, man. So listen, what I want you to do is I want you to think about, write down a behavior that you know is causing you some grief, causing your wife some grief, your partner, and you really can't wrap your arms around it. I know you got some. So write that down. When I'm in a conversation with X, she says this, and I automatically go defensive. I automatically shut down. I automatically fill in the blanks, right? And then the trigger, so you figure out the trigger and you see the pattern. And then the story that you tell yourself, man, that's that story I've been talking to you about, right? Simple exercise. Do that, right? And then tomorrow, well, I'll talk about 2 and 3, but just I'll take a picture of this. If you want this, I can send it to you. And think about showing up tomorrow. Sorry, guys, these are all impromptu things. We'll have a more scheduled thing for August, but I want you to understand and hear me when I tell you that, man. I understand what it feels like to be in this space. So number 2, breaking the loop. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. So you're going to get some release from your behaviors and those patterns. And then 3, the big thing on each one of these is that there's simple shifts that are going to happen. And the work though is not going to be something that happens overnight, but it can happen over time. Right? It won't happen overnight, but it'll happen over time, man. So number 2 is seeing how you can break the loop, separate the shame from the truth. Right? I carried a lot of shame, man. I carried a lot of shame that for stories that people told me about myself that really weren't true. Some of it was my behaviors, and shame is not real. Shame is something we put a name on when people tell us you should be ashamed of yourself. Right? A whole nother conversation around shame. Anyway, I appreciate you dropping in, Otis, and some other folks as we're coming in. Let me know where you're coming from. Like and subscribe and do this homework, man. So what the first one I gave you, do that one. And then the third day, build the comeback, rebuild. So there's a whole identity shift that can begin to happen to you in 2, 3 days, man. New boundaries and a new identity. You can start to see yourself as that child. You start to see yourself as that complete human being that you know you've been. So what are you going to do? You're going to think about that exercise, and when I just clicked away. If you missed it, let me know and hit me up. Say email and send me an email. Drop me your email. I can send you what I just showed. Those three things. But I ask you to do this for me as we wrap this thing up, man. What if your disciplined truth begins and you're still okay? The world doesn't come apart. I was so worried about, man, I mean, showing some vulnerability. And I showed some vulnerability at times, and it didn't always work out, man. I got my feelings hurt several times. But you know what? It didn't kill me. And guess what was more important? I had more integrity about myself. Right. When you can stand in and tell somebody how you're really feeling, right, and not worry about the outcome of it, but you don't make a story around it. You just tell them the truth, man. It's a whole nother level of connection. It's a whole nother level of appreciation for yourself. I challenge any leader out there, man. If your stuff is out of balance in this space at home, I don't care how successful you are in the leadership role, you can be that much more successful because there'll be a certain part of you that will have a different understanding about yourself and people. And it's all about being human, man. I mean, we all need to be more better humans, right? That's a whole other piece that we talk about at Comeback King Enterprises. But being a better human starts by being a better husband, son, boyfriend, fiance, wherever you fit, both male and female, right? And it all begins when you start to stop listening to the lies that we've been told about how we're supposed to feel or behave because we feel a certain way and be guarded and all that stuff, right? So comment truth, and I'll send you an exercise that works that you can do throughout the day that you can begin to do on your own, right? For those of you out there that are serious about this, everybody ain't ready to change, man. I get it. But if you hear this and you know somebody that needs this, or you're part of that, hey, I want to do something different, then hit me up and I'll send you something. And as always, if you're like Jeff, man, I'm ready to connect, man, and then hit me up. Just send private, put private in the comment section, and I'll send you the invite. We'll have a conversation. So, as we always say at Comeback King Enterprises, listen, the comeback's not only a lifestyle, but it is a necessary piece for you. A necessary piece for you to find the power that's been given to you, and not see yourself as broken, but see yourself as being built to be that person that makes a difference in your life for yourself, for your family, your community, and this world that we're living in. Become a better human, right? At the end of the day, let's all become better humans. And it's more than just a lifestyle, it's a way of life. And we want to walk that life with you. So stay tuned for tomorrow, man. If you like this, some more information, let me know. And listen, as we always say, Come Back King Enterprises. We value the human life. And yes, technology is here to stay. So how can you be comfortable in a new way of living? We can help you with that. All right, guys. Have a good day. Happy Friday to you. Have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.